say autumn. Football, cooler air in the morning. Charlotte, North Carolina, may actually dip below 95 degrees. Pumpkin spice sightings everywhere. And some great holidays are around the corner. But before the turkey, the presents, it is conference season. Online, in real life, and all points in between, somebody has a conference you could attend. So the question is, which one should you choose? There's plenty of good ones out there, but if you're interested in content strategy, corporate communications, or helping your company become better at managing the wealth of content in their possession, then LavaCon Conference should certainly be at the top of your list. Connie and I could probably espouse endlessly about our experiences with this as our favorite conference. But rather than do that, we brought Jack Molisani, the executive director of LavaCon Conference, to do it for us. Also asking some questions with me is Connie Giordano, the co-owner, executive editor of TechWhirl. And my name is Al Martin, and I will also be asking a few questions. Jack, welcome back. It has been a long time, actually.
Yeah, happy to be back.
Yeah, it's trying to think. It wasn't last year. I want to say it was the year before we were able to catch up with you and learn a little bit about LavaCon. And I know things have been kind of growing and getting more kind of expansive and bigger and better keynotes and everything else. But before we get to that, one of the things we can say beyond a shadow of a doubt out of conferences Connie and I have attended over the years, one of the things LavaCon's super well known for is just amazing food, right?
Yes.
And as a guest, you do a lot of your research in between the conference seasons and having to plan all of these things. And you do, I believe, find some great places to eat. Anything hit your radar recently?
God, yes. First of all, before I answer the question, I want to know that our history goes all the way back to LavaCon Austin when you were throwing amazing paper airplanes off the Omni balcony.
That's right.
Miss those days. We got to put that back in. Except, now I have a safety officer who goes, no. So, yeah, Portland is such a foodie town. We were in New Orleans last year, Portland this year. We're going back to New Orleans next year. And one of the cool things about being in Los Angeles is you can't throw a stick in any direction without hitting an ethnic restaurant. So last week, I found a Georgian Armenian dumpling restaurant that has, it's a soup dumpling. So you have to bite the corner of the dumpling and slurp out the innards before it dribbles down your chin. So I'm debating whether or not we're going to add those to the LavaCon menu this year. We'd have to give everybody the little lobster bibs.
Yep, at least
like a live YouTube thing where you could do like a contest of some sort and go through it and then you could have that information put out on the web for everyone.
I like that.
Personal branding.
Instead of doing the cup stacking, we can do dumpling slurping.
There you go. There you go. We got it.
That idea. That's
new hashtag coming out tomorrow.
Yeah.
LavaCon dumpling.
Yeah. And if you've never been to Portland, Portland has a huge food truck presence. And at our welcome reception, we're going to replicate food trucks. So we'll have a grilled cheese station and a ceviche station, but it's not just grilled cheese. It's grilled cheese and tomato and bacon, and you just squish it and it just drips down your face. Yeah, I see a theme going here. Okay. I'm going to
do this over lunch too, so I'm sitting there going, man, I think I might make a grilled cheese when we're done here.
Yeah,
pretty good.
So, anyways, yeah, some yummy food stuff.
Right on.
Yeah,
right on.
Sounds like
And
it.
We're going to do the living salad bar again, where the chef puts out trays of living organic lettuces, and you point to the ones you want, and they take a pair of shears and cut the lettuce and hand you your salad. And then there'll be a protein station with salmon, chicken, and tofu, blackened tofu. So, a little something for everyone.
Very nice.
There you go.
And we're going to do the Chinese Dragon Parade again. I don't know if you saw that in the video.
Well, Connie, how goes everything with you? Now that I'm going to pause this and go make a sandwich, but how's everything going for you?
Everything is busy, but it's always busy. Just moved into new digs here in Charlotte, and one of those places, if you haven't been, you should come and visit, because Charlotte is a happening place now. Got its own little food truck venue going on now. So it's fun. It's a fun place to be. I enjoy it, except for last week when I was moving to my new digs and it was literally 98 degrees outside the entire time. It was kind of challenging, but other than that, it was great. And TechWhirl, just, we keep moving along, and the discussion groups keep happening, and so life is good. Very busy, but good.
Right on.
Good, as it should be.
Yes, indeed.
Let's go ahead and move into our questions. We call these Fast Fives because we normally pull together 5 big questions we have. Today, we're going to be talking about LavaCons, maybe some trends in the industry and where Jack sees it going. And we might as well get started. So, Connie, you want to go ahead and ask the first question?
Okay, sure. So I can't believe there would be anybody who actually falls into this category anymore, but maybe there are. For those who have never heard of LavaCon, Jack, can you give us your elevator pitch? Why should we spend the money to go to this particular conference over any of the others that I could choose from?
Sure. So LavaCon started in Hawaii. That's why it's called LavaCon. And we're going back there in 2022 for our 20th anniversary. LavaCon is a conference for senior content professionals, content strategists, documentation managers, directors of content development. And it's really about how to plan and manage enterprise-wide content initiatives. So there are great conferences for learning how to do online help. And there's a great conference for doing project management, where LavaCon spans multiple content silos, so to speak, where we've got marketing track and a technology track and a user experience track and the innovation track. So it's a way to, especially if you're moving to structured authoring, where do you start? How do you do it? How do you do it well? How do you find the vendors? And then finally, it's a place where you can network with your peers. So part of what we say is find your tribe. The people who are having the same challenges you have, and how are they doing it? How are they doing it well? And Sarah O'Keefe from Scriptorium calls half of the value she gets out of conferences is she calls it the hallway track. Just schmoozing with other people from other companies. Yeah, and then the last thing I would say, that one of the things that we do, I think, better than most, other than the food and the parade, which I'll talk about. I've been to conferences where a lot of the speakers are consultants trying to land some business. And we have consultants too, don't get me wrong. But this year we've got the innovation strategist from Intuit, the immersive media strategist from Intel, the user experience strategist from Microsoft, the AR/VR content strategist from Facebook. So really the movers and shakers who are on the leading edge of content development and where's it going and how do you get ready for it and what's coming down the pipe. So I'm really excited at our speaker lineup. And our opening keynote this year is the director of content development from Netflix. So just really, some really cool people.
Very nice. Yes, super interesting, especially, the Netflix is all over the place when it comes to kind of how they're growing and how they manage their content, and global company, but with multiple different tracks from everything. They still have the DVD business, funny enough, as well as online.
Well, it's interesting though. Jen from Netflix is actually going to be opening with a presentation called "Be the Hero of Your Own Story," and it's really about how to create the career you want, how to take control of your content career. It's going to be really good. So it's going to be nice to set the tone for the conference.
So clearly over getting close to 20 years, right? So you have seen a ton of changes in the industry and where things have been. What things are you starting to see? You did presentation pitches in the spring. What are some of the trends that you're starting to see either in the pitches or the hallway track or anything else?
The biggest thing, it's not here yet, but it's coming, is the integration of AR, VR, augmented reality, and virtual reality into the content mix. In the old days, we'd write a manual on how to fix your lawnmower engine, say. Well, now you'll be able to take Google Glass and say, show me, and it'll point to the part that you need to change, and then they'll say, here, unscrew it this way, hold down the spring, and then take it off. It'll actually show you how to do that. Or, where's my phone? Say you're an electrician, and there is a short in a wire in a wall. Well, you can download the schematics from that building into your phone and just go like this at the wall, and it'll show you where the wires are, and go, oh, I have to fix that, right? So we're moving away from words. We have been for quite some time, and moving into that more immersive AR, VR, augmented content. The other change is fewer words. I remember documentation by the pound. The bigger the manual is, the better it must be. Yeah, with the advent of mobile and the attention span of millennials being shorter than other generations, get in, get out, get done. Micro content for mobile interfaces. Finally, another trend I see is the really convergence of silos. It used to be tech support had their content, and user experience designers had their content, and training had their content, and marketing had their content. Where now consumers are looking up user documentation before they even buy a product. So it's now marketing content, or companies are leveraging legacy content to generate revenue. For example, say you have a GoPro and you go to their website to look up, how do I replace my battery? Well, right there in the same user interface, they can also pull in not only that tech support content, but display marketing content and go, oh, here's a coupon for a brand new GoPro. Why don't you upgrade today? So it's that convergence of pulling content from multiple silos into a single user interface, which is hard to do with fewer words. So, yeah. Did that answer the question?
Indeed, it did. When you say Google and augmented reality, and I'm not sure if it's rolled out to iOS yet, but it's on Android. If you have the new Google Maps, the update, and you're out walking and you need to know the directions rather than having to look down and back up and everything else, they'll do an overlay and give you the directions on, will you be able to see and make a right and return. So they're already starting to push. Now, obviously a little different than instructions on, I don't know, repairing a car engine, but it's already starting to occur in very deliberate type of directions.
Finally, and this is really leading edge stuff where companies are using AI to generate content instead of humans. And, and I'm going, no. But yeah, it's coming. It's coming. In fact, for not this year, but next year's LavaCon, we've got the director of Cordova, who's doing a lot of research into AI generated content. But the thing is, you have to be careful. And one of the things we're talking about in this year's conference is the liability of using AI and automated chat interfaces. I forget the name of it, but Microsoft came out with a product where it was learning what people were asking for and using the words they were using, and some haters got on there and started using very anti-ethnic terms, and the AI was learning that and spitting it back to people. So there's still some work we have to do on that.
So kind of following on with that a little bit, there are definitely some things that are coming down the pike that none of us would have expected 5 or 10 years ago. But I'm curious if any of your speakers or any of the tracks are going to be focusing on, the implications, for instance, in specific industries. For instance, what's the implication of using AI and chat in financial services, where you have to you are compelled by various kinds of rules and regulations to disclose certain things and say certain things at certain times based on what the customer says to you. Are there folks who are going to be talking about some of those kinds of issues and talking about how they're solving for those problems right now?
Yeah. One of my favorite stories, it wasn't necessarily an AI story, but it was a translation story where some Japanese industrialists were touring a factory in Germany, East Germany at the time. And the Germans didn't speak Japanese and the Japanese didn't speak German, so they used English as a translation language. And one of the guests asked the factory foreman, "What do you do if a worker is often late?" And they came back and said, "They are shot." And they went, "Oh, okay." And 5 minutes later, the translator came back and went, No, I made a mistake. They're not shot, they're fired." And look how close those words are in English, but it has completely different meanings when used out of context. So, yeah, we got to be careful. Yeah, a lot of that, especially in medical devices.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't want an AI telling me what to do and using the wrong word. So when we're in a regulated, life-threatening environment, yeah, we're going to be talking about that for sure.
Okay.
So what are some of getting back over into LavaCon a little bit,
Okay.
we know that there's plenty of great speakers, professional development. It's often known for the food after hours. What events do you have planned for Portland this year?
We always do opening welcome reception where you could just network with your peers. We have a traditional karaoke night we do, WebWorks hosts. We're going to do a storytelling night as well, where you could just get up on mic and tell a story. Felice Banner is organizing that. 3 years ago, when we were in New Orleans, we had to get from the hotel to the offsite karaoke venue, so we did a second line jazz parade. And then the year after that,
yes.
yeah, that was fun. And
It
then the year
was.
after that, we were in Vegas and we had to get from the hotel to the offsite venue. So we did a parade with a stilt walker, alien stilt walker, down Fremont Street to get there. And I'm going, there's a bit of a tradition starting here. And then when we were in Portland 2 years ago, I'm going, okay, so what am I going to do in Portland? Then I realized that Portland has a Chinatown. And we actually found a Chinese dragon team that led us in a parade from the hotel to the offsite venue. And we actually got to hold part of the things and be part of the dragon. It was so cool. So we're going to do that again this year. So that's always a fun after hours thing.
Right on.
Cool.
And God forbid we do a tweet up to craft breweries in Portland. That might happen.
It could, yeah.
Yep.
Small possibility, right?
What's funny is, so Andrea Ames every year does a workshop called Design Thinking. It's normally used to create software or an app or new processes. But the example to do a hands-on workshop, the question she gave the audience was, how can we increase the LavaCon attendee experience? And we broke people into 5 teams. So we had personas. So we had a new attendee, a returning attendee, a speaker, sponsor, my staff, and me, 6. And they came back with ideas and suggestions I would have never thought of. For example, someone pointed out that every single thing I organize is for extroverts. Karaoke and storytelling and parades and speed networking. I so traumatized the introverts with speed networking that they wanted a quiet room with puppies. So we got service dogs. Not service dogs, therapy dogs. So we're bringing the therapy dogs back again, but we also found therapy llama and a therapy alpaca. So we're going to have
Okay.
that's new this year.
This is sort of like the LavaCon petting zoo. It sounds
I like that. Okay, I'm gonna write that down. Yep.
LavaCon introvert petting zoo. I like
Yeah. So I'm trying. So I'm really trying to listen to my audience. So when we ask for feedback and ask for suggestions, we take them to heart. Yeah.
Right on.
That's great. I think that gives it, one of the things that has always been unique about LavaCon is because you do listen so much to the folks who are participating, and you hang out with everybody, and you're doing all of those activities. It feels like a much more personalized experience than a lot of conferences where you're basically a name tag and a business card.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that if you've never been to LavaCon, you will probably get more out of that find your tribe kind of experience, because it is, everybody knows Jack, everybody knows, all of the folks who are helping you and staffing things for you. And so it becomes like a family tradition in some ways to be a part of that and find out what's going on, but constantly bringing in the new things like the content director for Netflix and whatnot. So I think it makes for a really, really unique experience.
And one of the challenges of being a conference producer is looking in your crystal ball and saying, what's coming down the pipe? What do content professionals need to keep up on? In the olden days, it was easy because there was always a new release of Microsoft Windows. So we went from DOS to Windows, then we went from Windows to Windows 95, then we went from WinHelp to HTML help, and then XML. But that has been around for what? 15, 18 years now? It's not new, but what is new? Then social media came along, and then web-based help came along, and then now it's immersive technology. So we're going to do an AR/VR lab and AR/VR sessions, and part of this is just deciding, is AR/VR right for you? Because if you're in a bank services company, I can't see an application for that. But if you're in a network configuration,
it would be very limited. I could see you could probably do something with like role playing when you're trying to help a client figure out how to open a new account or what investments they should make based on their particular goals. But I would have a difficult time trying to figure out how do I do a customer facing thing. Although we do have VR folks, and I say we because I do work for a financial services company, who do the live chat, and they are, not necessarily on the ATM screen, but you can actually talk to somebody like that. So I think there are some applications, but they're just not as obvious to as things, some of the other things that we've talked about.
Right.
I was thinking about that just a little bit. The actual help of filling out the form, certainly signed here. I'm not sure where you get too much extra there, but if financial institutions, right, it's all about quantifying risk. So you could, if there was ways to visualize and allow folks to really understand, if you put all of your money into this passbook savings account, your risk is this very small puppy. And if you put it all in options, it is this giant angry lion type concept. You could at least allow the understanding of risk to be it'd be hard to argue that you didn't understand it, but
or get gamification. Create a game where you have risks and rewards and opportunities and barriers, and I was going to add one other thing about micro content. So often the content strategist or the documentation manager or the tech writer is the only person to see every part of the software, because different teams work on different things. And it drives me crazy when I'm in one part of a system and the button says okay, and another part says go, and then the third one, there is no button, and you just have to figure out where you're going.
Or to submit or enter or half a dozen other terms. And
I was using software the other day, I swear, that it says, if you exit now, you will lose all your data you just entered. Do you really want to cancel? And the two options were cancel and yes.
Uh-oh. Missed it by that much.
It's sort of a no-win situation.
So what they meant was, do you want to cancel the cancellation? But you couldn't have just used yes or no? Yeah, so being the customer advocate, we are user experience experts now, we're content experts now, information experience experts now, where we are looking at, we're not just the person in a dark cube writing a manual that no one's going to read. We're an integral part of the development team, or should be viewed as, and being right there going, content is so integral to the user experience. We need a chief content officer, just to advocate the highest level of an organization. In fact, a little sneak preview for next year. We've done creating content ecosystems. Next year, the theme we're going to go with is creating the United Nations of content, where you have that concept of a round table and you have representatives from all the content silos, all at the table, all with an equal voice. So the user experience strategist and the content strategist has just as much say as the IT person or the software developer, so it's going to be good. So it's really elevating and fostering that let's work together, because so often, we want to implement a content management system, but the person who's going to see the cost return on investment is not the person spending the money, right? So you'll reduce your transaction costs, but it's the IT's department that's paying for the CMS. So unless you have an advocate at the highest level above those two people, you're never going to get it done. So we're really trying to, I'm not going to say teach people, that's not the right word, advocate for, beat the drum for, elevating the importance of content and how it's viewed within an organization, that really this is an asset. This is a money-making asset, not a cost that you should acquire for the lowest possible price, a commodity, if you will. So that's what we're talking about that too. Don't get me started. I will be here for days.
We'll go way over our 1 hour limit, right?
Yes, I have to warn you, I'm a man of few opinions and I rarely state them. All right, next question.
All right. So one of the things that obviously has become a bigger factor in companies deciding where what their company, their employees can go and do, and what they can attend, and how much they're going to spend on it and whatnot. So online options have become bigger and bigger over the last few years. And I know in the past you guys have done some, online sessions where they were joint with the folks that were live in the room. What are your plans for providing some options for the non-physical attendees?
Yes, virtual attendees. We have a virtual track. All the keynotes and all the sessions in one room are streamed live with video. All the other sessions are recorded webinar style, slides and audio. So virtual attendees can attend and participate. Felice Banner does an amazing job as our virtual track chair, and she really gets them asking questions and talking amongst themselves. And we make sure all the speakers, if they're going to ask a question, not only do you talk to the physical attendees, but also the virtual attendees. And it really becomes this immersive, you're part of the event, even if you're not physically there. So that is an option. Either
Great.
One person can sign up, or companies can get a global site license and send as many people as they want.
Nice.
Cool.
And who's your virtual chair again? Sorry, you said it.
Felice Banner.
Felice. Okay, just wanted to make sure. Okay, so one of the things we did for promoting our webinar, I just wanted to make sure that person hadn't signed up. I'll be honest, I heard it and I just wanted to make sure we hadn't just awarded them a free ticket. Okay, so what we had said was anybody who had signed up for a reminder was able to be entered into a contest to receive a free ticket to LavaCon, and we had a number of people sign up. Full disclosure, I took those names off of our WordPress site. I used a random number generator, and whatever the lowest number was, which happened to be, and I know you all really want to know, 0.04161006 is the official number that won this. Was the person who came out on top, and that person, Sharon Metzger. She signed up, and yep, among a lot of folks. Thank you all for getting those reminders. I hope they've enjoyed this, but I'll send the note to Sharon when we're done. I'll carbon copy you, Jack, to let y'all connect and figure out how you want to kind of proceed with picking it. Yeah.
And for everybody else that didn't win the free entrance, we have a discount code, TW19 for TechWhirl, $200 off conference tuition. So
nice.
We'll send that out in writing as well. But yeah,
right on.
Definitely worth it.
Absolutely.
I having been previous attendees, both Al and I can attest to what a truly beneficial experience it is, from professional, personal. We've made great friends like you, like other folks that we stay in touch with over the years, and I just think it's just an awesome experience all the way around. So if you were going to do like that final social media pitch for coming to, what kind of pitch would you put together? The discounts, the programming, whatever, get creative on the spot.
Simpler than that. What I tell people to do is, why go to a conference if it's not going to either solve your problems or help you generate revenue or reduce costs? So just print out the schedule at a glance and highlight all the sessions you think would apply to your organization and the challenges that you are facing. And then take this to your boss and go, these sessions will help us solve these problems, and look at all the money we'll save by sending me there. And then it becomes a simple cost justification. What's the return on investment on sending me to a conference? What's interesting this year is that we've been growing about 20% per year. So we've been doubling every 5 years. And it's come to a point where I'm going to have to cut off attendance at some point. Either one, we're going to outgrow the hotel venue, and I don't want to move into a big conference convention center, because we'll lose that intimate networking you were talking about earlier. But we also have attendees coming from the Middle East, Finland, Japan, China. We've really developed a very international audience. So it's interesting, the scope on who you're going to meet. And like last year, we had the director of digital publishing from the AMA, the director of digital publishing for Apple as an attendee, not even a speaker. So it's just becoming a really cool, this is where the rock stars of content strategy hang out. Or soon to be rock stars. So I guess that's my pitch. Yeah.
That's a good pitch. It's a great conference. It will also chime in and say, Joy, we went to a number of conferences that each that we've attended in the past had a unique aspect to them, but as a well-rounded, professional content, whether you're getting involved and you want to have something useful to say in the meeting, or you're managing the meeting, it'll give a little bit of everything, between networking to professional development. Yep, super good. One of our favorites, and we can't recommend it enough.
A closing thought is that we really promote active participation up from the attendees. I have given sessions at my conference where I've learned something in my own session, just because there was so much hive mind, collective knowledge in the room. This is how I did it. How did you do it? Oh, I never thought of that. So again, so much of the value, and I think that's the difference between a webinar and an interactive conference, where instead of just listening to one person talk at you for 45 minutes, you're just really networking and sharing tribal knowledge and building those professional relationships that you will last forever, for years. I don't know about forever, but for years, for sure. So yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
All right. Okay. Well, we have exhausted our 5 questions. In fact, we went higher than that, but we are done. Jack, if folks do have more questions, what's the best way to get a hold of you? Facebook, Twitter, send an owl? How do you recommend people get in touch to ask those questions?
Have you heard the term ego surfing? When you search for your own name on the internet?
I've heard of that. I don't really know, but okay.
Yeah. The last time I ego surfed, there was something like 13,000 hits on my name on Google. So it's really hard not to get a hold of me. First of all, just go to the website, lavacon.org. There's a contact us button. I'm Jack Molisani on Twitter. Jack Molisani on LinkedIn, Facebook. It's just, if you have any questions, just reach out. Yeah.
The contact us section on TechWhirl as well. You can go there if you're already on the site. You have additional questions, by all means, send that. Really a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming and joining us and talking about the future and your event. We look forward to it and wish you all the luck.
One last plug is there is a content strategy group on LinkedIn that I own, organize, and we've been posting previous LavaCon sessions, both keynotes and breakouts, to the group. Our keynotes are normally 18 minutes long. They're TED Talks. So we have 20-minute Mondays and 45-minute Fridays. So if anyone wants to just take advantage of the previous LavaCon content, they're there. It's there free. Check it out. Yeah, join content strategy on LinkedIn.
Sounds like a good
Excellent.
plan.
All right, guys. Thank you for the opportunity. I really appreciate this. And
all right. Connie, myself, Jack, everybody at TechWhirl, thank you all for your time and thank you for watching. We hope to see you at LavaCon this year.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye.